All right, we are live. And news of the day is we just got copyrighted by copyrighted. Is it a strike? It's not a strike. We just got copyrighted by Dua Lipa for playing the song "Levitating." Hey, I love levitating. And out of all the copyright, yesterday's conversation was all about copyrights, and this was supposed to happen because we were playing too many songs. And yeah, I think Ed Sheeran let us go. And it's actually not Ed Sheeran. Theo One let us go. Martin Gaye let us go. But Dua Lipa, because of Dua Lipa, our last stream was blocked in a couple territories. But anyways, let's go. I think I have a very general idea of signal versus noise. And then Becky McCormick has a new article that talks about means and meaning. So we'll get a deep dive on that. Let's see. Not. Oh, actually, Becky McCormick. Yes, we have done this before. Astra Mechanica. Oh wait, we didn't look at. Did we look? Did we look at this article? Actually, we didn't. We should have looked at this article for Astra Mechanica. Anyways, we'll come back to it. No thanks. Yes. By the way, what are the other articles? Weekly Dose of Optimism. How to Flounder Mode with Brie Wolfson. Flounder Mode. XLMer Dies. The Great Online Game. Oh wow. XLMer Dies is bigger than the Great Online Game. Great Online Game is actually so good. On the internet. Yes, Great Online Game is actually so good that it's worth reading it again and again and again and again. What is this? Capital intensity isn't bad. Alright. So let's do that. Okay. Signal versus noise. Let's remove that. We are doing. Oh man. Great Online Game is actually really good. Alright, so we'll start over here. Happy belated Mother's Day. This was written in 21. Alright. Most of the time, and not boring, I write about companies with facts and figures and histories and crowds. Occasionally, I write about concepts and business models like the metaverse, DAOs, APIs. Sometimes I let you into my brain to see what's going on in there before any idea is fully baked, which when it's just a bunch of wisp starting to form a braid. Today's one of those pieces. It's shorter. Yes, that's good. It's meant to be interactive. Some of his articles, like I think what was the last one we saw? It was about Meter. Yes, the last one we saw was Meter. And Meter was so long. It was so long. I fully. It was so long that they actually turned that into a proper like book. I think 100-page book or something. I fully understand not everyone has the luxury to having a roof over the head, food on the table, and internet connection. Many people can afford the time to play the game, but if you take the hours it takes to read, not boring, you're probably already playing the great online game to some degree. You read this because you want to know how the online economy works and how you can play it better. But you can play to win unless you know you're playing. Unless you know you are playing. There should be definitely an updated version of this. Wow. I don't know these guys. This is Kim Kardashian. This is AOC. This is Speed. This is boring. Bored Elon Musk, I think. This in short is a piece about games. I set out to answer the question why are tech growth stocks sagging while crypto moons and value roars back. Crypto growth investors, tech stocks. But I figured out how to explain that out in way fewer words. Crypto is just more fun. But crypto itself is not the game. It's just the in-game currency for a much bigger game played across the internet than involves CEOs, influencers, artists, researchers, investors, and regular people like you and me. That's a much more fun topic to explore than which asset class is outperforming which. This is bigger, more permanent than day-to-day market fluctuations. We're all playing a great online game. How well we play determines the rewards we get online and offline. The great online game is played concurrently by billions of people online as themselves with real-world consequences. Your financial and psychological well-being is at stake, but the downside is limited. Your financial and psychological well-being is at stake, but the downside is limited. The upside, on the other hand, is infinite. Social media is the clearest manifestation of this meta game. Beginner level Twitter. Wow. This ambulance. Let's let it pass. Okay. Social media is the clearest manifestation of this metagame. Beginner level Twitter feels weird, like a bunch of people exposing their personal thoughts to the world. Medium level Twitter is threads and engagement hacks. Twitter mastery is indistinguishable from an ongoing game. This is also true for Reddit, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and other social networks. But social media is just one piece of an interconnected game that spans online and offline spaces. The way you play in one area unlocks opportunities in others. Sharing ideas on Twitter might get you invited to a Discord. Your participation in that Discord might get you invited to work on a new project, and that new project might make you rich, or it might bring you more followers on Twitter and more Discord invites and more project opportunities and new ideas that you want to explore, which might kick off any number of new paths. We now live in a world in which by typing things into your phone or your keyboard, or saying things into a microphone, or snapping pictures or videos, you can marshal resources, support, and opportunities. Crypto has the potential to take it up a notch by baking game mechanics, points, rewards, skins, teams, and more right into the whole internet. The great online game is free to play, and it starts simply by realizing that you are playing a game. Every tweet is a free lottery ticket. That's a big unlock. Anyone can play. You can choose how to play given your resources and skills at the current moment. You can level up fast. Financial and social capital are no longer tied so tightly to where you win, who you know, or what your boss thinks of you. This game has different physics and wormholes through which to jump. It's exponential instead of linear. To understand how the game works, and this is so important. This is like, I think these three paragraphs they open up your brain by typing things into your phone or your keyboard, or saying things into a microphone, or snapping pictures or videos. You can marshal resources, support, and opportunities. Crypto has the potential to take it up a notch by baking game mechanics right into the whole internet. The great online game is free to play. It starts simply by realizing that you are playing a game. Every tweet is a free lottery ticket. That's a big unlock. Anyone can play. You can choose how to play given your... Okay, we'll just read that. Whoa, where's my phone? We'll just read that. Every tweet is a free lottery ticket. Packy. All right. Anyone can play. You can choose how to play given your resources and skills at the current moment. You can level up fast. Financial and social capital are no longer tied so tightly to where you went, who you know, or what your boss thinks of you. This game has different physics and wormholes through which to jump. It's exponential instead of linear. To understand how the game works and how to play, we'll work our way up. What is a video game? The great online game. Meet the players. How crypto supercharges the game. How to play the game. I hope I've convinced you to throw a couple of coins and then start playing, but I think I might need to show you that we are even playing a video game first. What is a video game? This just reminds me that Farcaster literally just launched the entire not beautiful, but seamless coin interface, and people are now launching more and more coins on Farcaster. And yesterday I bought like a coin for $3. So, and okay, let's do a quick check. Where are we at with a $3 coin? All right, Farcaster app loading, and wallet open, and okay, I'm down. I think I bought for $3 and now it's $2.11. Okay, let's go back. It's Monday morning. You're tired. You have to go to work. Is it Monday morning today? No, today's Tuesday. All right. It's Monday morning, you're tired, you have to go to work, you have an assignment that you pushed off on Friday because it's practically hot wax summer and you had plans, but now it's Monday and damn, now you need to do that thing. This does not seem fun. This does not seem like a game. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. So it might take a minute to convince you that yes, it is even for you. I'm going to start my argument like a shitty high school valedictorian. The Oxford English Dictionary defines a video game as a game played by electronically manipulating images produced by Hey, you can complain. They didn't learn communication skills from Steve Jobs. Okay, a game played by electronically manipulating images produced by a computer program on a television screen or other display screen. If you're working remotely from a computer, what you are doing perfectly fits the definition of a video game. Slack, Figma, Jira. What is this? Jira and your VS Code. What is this? Asana. That's Asana. Okay. Slack, Figma, Asana, VS Code. All right. Sometimes it's weird to remember that we are all effectively competing to hit the right keys on our keyboards in the right order, and that if we do it for long enough, we can buy a house. Hmm. Let's just go and retweet this thing from 2021. That's perfect. Okay. Nice. Hit the right keys in the right order, make money. Work is just an often boring sub game within the meta game. But that's still a little literal and a lot reductive. Let's go deeper. The best games, according to gaming entrepreneur turned top solo investor Josh Buckley, are creating spaces that bring you into flow. The best games, according to gaming entrepreneur turned top solo investor Josh Buckley, are creating spaces that bring you into flow. On West Like Best, Buckley said the biggest games today really take advantage of this, but you wouldn't actually think of them as a game. I look at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram as games, and 3 billion people are playing them actively. They're essentially big layers on top of a slot machine. Let's see Josh Buckley's latest tweet. It's very interesting. Like this tweet is from the street. Sorry, not the street. This blog is from 5 years ago, or let's say 4 years ago, and these were all top dogs back then during Corona, during COVID, and it would be very interesting to see like what has been the trajectory of each one of them. So Josh Buckley recently talked about applied intuition. Okay, I have a friend working on applied intuition. Problem that no one solved. The cool thing about Twitter is that you don't get copyrighted. Uh, yeah, the cool thing about getting watching all the videos on or live streaming all about Twitter is that you never get copyrighted, because if you're on YouTube, they're constantly copywriting you. Like I didn't realize even a podcast, Theo One's podcast, is owned by an agency, and they are copywriting me. I didn't know that that existed for a podcast. That is crazy. That's new. I thought that was only for music. To bring vehicle intelligence to every moving machine on the planet. Okay. Excited to announce Speak. Speak. Wow. 1 billion valuation. Raised 78 million Series C from Excel. What is Speak? OpenAI, Khosla, YC. Physical intelligence. Even Ayn Rand would be amazed how the government is slowing down our most successful inventor. FAA delaying Starship launches, FCC refusing to work with Starlink, first claiming it's incapable, then claiming it's too good. President not commenting on the first private spacewalk. Wow. Wow. Okay. We're back. I thought he would say more about this, but I don't know. Are creating spaces that bring you into flow. We want to hear more about this. The best games, according to gaming entrepreneur turned top solo investor Josh Buckley, are creating spaces that bring you into flow. And I will just make sure we look into Josh Buckley. Josh Buckley writings. All right. Buckley went on to lay out 4 elements of successful game design: frequent feedback loops, variable outcomes, sense of control, connection to a meta game. All 4 are present in the great online game, none more importantly than the connection to the meta game, the great online game. The internet is incredible. You will hear that a lot from people who have started to master the game. As I typed the last sentence, Blake Robbins tweeted this. I think people still underestimate the power of the internet. Twitter specifically has changed my life in so many ways. I've met some of my closest friends, mentors, etc., all through Twitter. Getting good at the great online game makes seemingly absurd things happen. Your business icon in your DMs, that person whose videos you don't miss, just reach out for a collab. Your dream job reach out to you to tell you why company X might be fit. Blake has successfully translated hanging out on the edges of the internet into a career as a venture capitalist at Ludlow Ventures. He's a go-to. Wow, Blake Robbins is a guy? I thought Blake Robbins is a girl. Hmm. Blake has successfully translated hanging out on the edges of the internet into a career as a venture capitalist. He's a go-to source on creators, gaming, and future internet stuff more broadly. For some of the smartest people in the world, Blake summarized his approach in another recent tweet. This is a perfect summary of how I have approached my career. By the way, drinking this latte is making me cough way more. Anyways, I'll approach my career in life to date, try to add value with no expectation of anything in return, play the long game. He's playing an infinite game, going down rabbit holes, learning, helping people, meeting new ones, going down more rabbit holes, and so on. Okay, Blake Robbins, that's an inspiration. That is very similar to what we are doing now. So we'll just make sure we look. And he has had the same thing for a long time, hanging on the edges of the internet, and now he's at Hidden Cap. You are early. When was this announced? Oh, last year. I often wonder what a ChatGPT keyboard would look like. Gboard was good back in the day, but I barely scratched the surface of what's possible today. Every settings page should have a storage bar. Turning off ChatGPT memory and using temporary chats is starting to feel like the AI era equivalent of covering your kid's face on Instagram. Sleep tracking apps should ask how rested do you feel before they spit out a score. Interesting. He's playing an infinite game, going down rabbit holes, learning, helping people, meeting new ones, going down more rabbit holes, and so on. James Cars, who coined the term in his 86 book Finite and Infinite Games, A Vision of Life as Play and Possibility, wrote. By the way, I also wanna, in this video, I kind of want to feature my buddy Aaron. Aaron is doing some really good stuff, and he has released this video. We'll watch that at the end. James Cars, who coined the term in 86 book Finite Infinite Games, A Vision of Life as Play and Possibility, wrote, the finite game, there is only one, includes any authentic interaction from trenching to culture that changes rules, plays with boundaries, and exists solely for the purpose of continuing the game. A finite player seeks power. The infinite one displays self-sufficient strength. Finite games are theatrical, necessitating an audience. Infinite ones are dramatic, involving participants. The great online game is an infinite video game that plays out constantly across the internet. It uses many of the mechanics of a video game, but removes the boundaries. You're no longer playing as an avatar in Fortnite or Roblox. You're playing as yourself across Twitter, YouTube, Discord, work, projects, investments. People who play the great online game rack up points, skills, and attributes that they can apply across their digital and physical lives. Some people even start pseudonymous and parlay their faceless brilliance into jobs and money. The game rewards community and cooperation over individualism and competition. The game rewards community and cooperation over individualism and competition. You get points for being curious, sharing, and helping with no expectation of reciprocation. By increasing your surface area, you are opening yourself up to serendipity. For good actors, the game has nearly unlimited upside and practically no downside. You can jump into the great online game at any point, whether as a total unknown or an accomplished person, and start building the world that you want to build. It can take you any number of paths. We'll explore a few. Meet the players. The inspiration of this essay was Elon Musk's SNL appearance. No one plays this game better than Musk. The best way to explain this out-of-body run is that he's playing a video game with cheat codes. He's doing things that people didn't think were physically possible. Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, while getting away with things that people didn't think were legal. Pumping Dogecoin, $420 stake private tweet, getting high on Joe Rogan. He's playing a postmodern game against modern rivals. He's like Neo. He's not trying to forcefully bend the spoon. He understands there is no spoon. He has more money points than all but two people in the world to show for it. Musk plays, I think this tweet or this line has become so outdated now. Wow. Musk plays an advanced version of the game in which he builds rocket ships, electric cars, and internet satellites, but you don't need to bend atoms or become the wealthiest person in the solar system to win. Right, time to close the window. Construction has started, so now we need peace. Alright. Musk plays an advanced version of the game in which he builds rocket ships and electric cars and internet satellites, but you don't need to bend atoms or become the wealthiest person in the solar system to win. You don't even have to reveal yourself as a real person. A couple weeks ago, Austin Reef and I had Bodilon on our weekly Twitter spaces. Space Cadets. Bodilon is a pseudonymous account. He tweets ideas for inventions that Elon might have if he were bored. And 1.7 million people follow him on Twitter. A couple months ago, he started selling NFTs. He pulled in $1 million in less than a month. How about a non-Elon example? Take Alex Danko. Alex has literally built himself a world, Dankoland. In an excellent post on his journey, Alex drew an actual map of his journey through the great online game. Startup forest, bubbles plus manias, river, infinite loops, swamps and scenes, Shopify, ocean of commerce, humanity's mountain range, intellect, okay? He started by writing on startups, moved on to bubbles and mania, passed through the swamp of scenes, made it the humanity's mountain range. While he wrote, he got to meet new people, test new ideas, and build upon a reputation and help him find his next thing. This newsletter was obviously part of a fishing expedition to find what I wanted to do next. Next was a dream job at Shopify. We just saw Alex Janko at the Base app launch where they announced that Shopify is not going to do Base Pay. There's a collaboration. While he wrote, he got to meet new people, test new ideas, and build up a reputation and help him find his next thing. This newsletter was obviously part of a fishing expedition to find what I wanted to do next. Next was a dream job at Shopify, thanks in part to the newsletter. Instead of claiming mission accomplished, though, he's continuing to play the great online game. Let's see what Alex Danko wrote. What's the latest thing? Shopify, other stuff at alexjanko.com. The future is bright. Given the pace of technology, I propose we leave math to the machines and go play outside. Wow, 2015. Wow, okay. There it is. We'll never say want sweet currency. When my wife buys the organic blueberries. I wake up. Something's wrong with the clock on the wall. The numbers are jumbled. My hands aren't right. I tell my wife. She responds, "That's not just an observation. It's a powerful insight." I scream. Wait, what is that? A new frontier in fusion technology. Ellie Dorado, creator deploying capital to accelerate rad technologies at head of strategic investments. The wall plug efficiency of today's methods of making antiprotons about Okay, let's go back. Dankoland. Mission accomplished. He's continuing to play the great online game, expanding his world by branching into new communities. Specifically, he's going to have a recurring segment in Jim O'Shaughnessy's Infinite Loops podcast and become more active participant in Anna Gatz's magical intellect. What's the status? Intellect. Fearless conversations with friendly people. Whoa, Kevin Kelly. Such an iconic look. So it's still going on. Okay, that's really good to see. That's really good to see. Those will no doubt lead to new opportunities and new worlds to explore. Or take Megan Leeds. Megan Leeds, better known as Megan Plays, 2018 was making $400 per month posting YouTube videos of herself gaming. She makes, she takes in millions of dollars a year, has 3.6 million subscribers, launched a game studio that will bring in 8 million this year. Wow. Okay. Portrayed YouTubes of herself literally playing video games, The Sims, into Roblox content, into making games, into a 1 million plus YouTube following, 8 million game studio, 1 million online store. Her quote in Rex Woodbury's thread captures the great online game beautifully. There's nothing I've done that anybody else can do. It's about learning the code, learning how the game works, and creating. All you have to do is start. Learning the code, learning how the game works, and creating. All you have to do is start. Start, follow your curiosity. Build relationships, stay open to new opportunities, keep playing. How about Lil Nas X, born Montero Hill after the Mitsubishi Montero. Lil Nas X started messing around on Facebook and Instagram and finally hopped on Twitter, where I really was a master. That was the first place where I could go viral. He started making music in his closet. In December 2018, he dropped Old Town Road, which made, wow, Old Town Road was his first song. That is crazy. With a $30 sample and $20 worth of studio time. The song was played over 2.5 billion times in 2019 alone. He came out on the last day of Pride Month in 2019 and has used his platform to represent the LGBTQ community as one of the very few out rappers. Earlier this year, he released Montero, Call Me By Your Name. He gives the devil a lap dance in the music video. Montero to memes to music. Montero to memes to music to Montero. Lil Nas X continues to use Twitter like a young meme lord. He's playing the game. The great online game overlaps with the creator economy. Danko wrote a newsletter. Leeds has a YouTube channel. Lil Nas X makes music, but it doesn't necessarily mean living as a full-time creator. Danko has a full-time job. Leeds runs companies with employees. There are countless more examples, from Kim Kardashian to Donald Glover to Turner Novak to Andrea Hernandez. Subsidiary of the Snack Shot, Bam Jam, protein-packed fruit spread, Bam Jam. The VP of design at Pepsi started following Snack Shot, and he's about to see all the talking I've been doing. Denim Knife by Wrangler. Whoa. Wow. Performative. We'll have a field day. Wait, so what does she do? Snack Shot. Let's see what's coming next. Briella. Voyage. Mode. Fly by Jing. Interesting. Snack Shot. Product Oracle. Pendulum swung back. Tradwife Grocers. How iconic. Capri Shot. From the island of Capri Pants. Creatine cereal might just work. Can someone surprise me? Protein sous vide. The next barista milk. Cherry Coke Nostalgia is soda's biggest weapon. Nostalgia. AOC, actually, let's follow Andrea. Subsidiary. To Websmith, the deep fucking value to Soulja Boy, and to Extended Pompliano Universe. All these people, Extended Pompliano Universe is very interesting because it's Anthony Pomp. It's his brother, who, I think he has two brothers. One brother is really into sports, Joe Pompliano. I think he has two brothers. So Anthony is doing the live shows, all about news, crypto, everything. Joe Pompliano is doing everything about sports. And then the wife, I forgot, is she about economics? I think so. But it's very interesting if you have like one family and you have like your wife, your brothers, your entire pretty much family is like picking up one vertical. Everybody's really good at that, and then there's a constant like fusion of stuff happening in the family. All these people seem like they are having a blast while they are working, and that's just my con of the internet. There are millions of people playing the game well. What are come examples of people who have parlayed being great at internet into big things? Okay, great question. This will have some interesting answers. Lil Nas, what do you count? Justin Bieber, good call. Sean VP raised 4 million rolling fund in a few hours using Twitter and email. Elon, pretty sure MKBHD wrote the book. Mr. Beast, Charlie Rocket. The Weekend before he was the Weekend. Gary V, Casey Neistat, Logan Paul, FaZe Clan, Andrew Schultz, yes, Jimmy Tatro, Lex Friedman, KSI. Lex Friedman is also a really good example. He was just a professor who started by one of those videos, one of those free MIT lecture videos. So that's where he became popular with the self-driving course. And then he parlayed that fame into his own podcast. Lex Friedman is a really good example. Each one is internet native, each plays the game, and each has cashed out some internet points for things like TV shows, Grammy winning records, venture funds, companies, and political victories. It's less about a particular platform or outcome and more about the idea that there are different ways of playing the game and new ways to acquire and grow new types of assets like cities. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez became a Twitter darling last year when he decided to embrace the tech community. How can I help? What if we move Silicon Valley to Miami? Since responding to Delian Street in December, Suarez has pulled a ton of high growth companies into the city. He's become the go to example of how to grow a city by playing the great online game. Not surprisingly, he's also embraced crypto. With crypto's ascent, there are thousands of newly minted millionaires and dozens or hundreds of billionaires who build their fortunes by hanging out in discords, learning about and investing in new coins, playing with new protocols, and treating investing like a game. Millions of people are playing the game just by hanging out and watching. I have multiple friends who a couple months ago had normal jobs at startups. Then they started hanging out on crypto discords and telegrams, trading, learning, meeting people, tweeting, and going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. I can't imagine they will ever work in a non-crypto job from here on out. Crypto is an asset class that rewards participation in the great online game. The fastest way to understand what's legit and what's not, and which coins people are going to buy and which they are going to ignore, is to spend time participating and learning online. The right Discord or Twitter follow is a massive source of alpha. Plus, crypto is kind of the native token for the great online game. How crypto supercharges the game. People in crypto seem to understand better than anyone that this is all a game. The right meme can send a random coin to the moon and make people legitimately rich. But beyond that, crypto is in-game money for the internet. It rewards participation directly, early users, supporters, builders, stakers. It's so interesting that everything that he's saying right now relates, like when everything that he's saying right now, everything that I'm reading right now from what he wrote in 2021 is fully applicable to Farcaster. And that is amazing. That is amazing because Farcaster has reached that point where doing all this has kind of become easier. It has got right into your feed, and it has just become easier, more user friendly, let's say. And it rewards participation directly. Early users, supporters, builders, stakers, validators, and community members get tokens. Until now, I didn't fully understand social tokens. They seem like another way for influencers to monetize with no clear value. But in the context of the great online game, they are points that reward good gameplay across the internet and give followers an incentive to join and support a team anywhere it goes. It's like a super follow for the whole internet with financial rewards. Crypto also lets players exchange value directly. Recently experimented with selling an essay as an NFT with Clint. Whoa. Which Clint Kisker bought for 2.19 ETH. That's a direct connection between two players in the game, even though I spent a lot of time thinking about and even playing with NFTs, though it didn't really click for me until I saw these slides from Mirror's Patrick Rivera. Okay, but is digital media actually valuable? The value of something is the price the market is willing to pay. NFTs are similar to in game items in video games people buy for status, identity, and belonging. The great online game imitates video games. If people want to buy skins in Fortnite to express themselves or clothes in Meat Space to do the same, of course, they would want to buy NFTs to express themselves online. In an open world like the internet, the more you signal who you are and what you care about, the more you open yourself up to new possibilities. The more you signal who you are and what you care about, the more you open yourself up to new possibilities. It's an abundant game. NFTs are online art, cars, outfits, and houses. They are the digital trappings of digital wealth. DAOs too are going to be important infrastructure for the great online game. They make it easier for people to float in and out of projects at internet speed instead of committing to climb the ladder within a company, and allow for lightweight and temporary groupings when people want to combine their superpowers. Recently, Party DAO formed to bring a bunch of smaller players together to compete against rich whales in NFT auctions. I suspect that many of the most successful Web3 projects built in the coming years will serve to give the great online game tools that were previously only available within the walled gardens of specific virtual corporate worlds. I'm excited about an or investor in Crucible, Mirror, Seed Club, and Apollos. What is Apollos? What happened to Apollos? It would be interesting to see, like, whoa, what just happened? No, this is not what I wanted. Where did he go? All right. So seems like it is still going on. Oh no, it's not going on. Because if I go to Twitter, oh no, they did tweet. Okay. Employment Commons. Okay. It's only going to get more compelling. We are in the early innings, so how should you play? How to play the game. On Friday, Shopify President Harley Finkelstein joined us on Spaces Cadets to close out the conversation. We asked her for advice to potential entrepreneurs out there. The cost of failure is as close to zero as it's ever been in the history of the world. Harley to the potential entrepreneurs out there. The cost of failure is as close to zero as it's ever been in the history of the world. Wow. That's a key mental shift. The cost of failure is as close to zero as it's ever been, and it will continue to fall. That's true for entrepreneurship, and it's even more true for the great online game, because entrepreneurs are trying to build a business. When you start to play the great online game, you are just building optionality. Anyone can play the great online game. All you need is some knowledge and curiosity. A typical path into the game starts out in one niche community. Maybe you start thoughtfully replying to a few people you respect in your feed on Twitter, or hop into a crypto Discord and get a feel for things before asking questions and participating. Ask yourself, what am I nerdiest about? And then go find your fellow nerds. They're out there. Over time, you go from consumer to creator. You create, you write, you make videos, lead discussions, build projects, collaborate on research, or just share your experience as a new player figuring it out. If you already have an offline reputation, maybe you skip the passive piece and jump right into activity. In either case, be yourself, but play with your character attributes. You can choose to be someone who's a little good at a lot of things, or unbelievably good at one thing. Both work, and you can evolve your character over time. Play with the fearlessness of someone playing a game, because you are. These are internet strangers. At worst, they will ignore you, and you can keep workshopping and start over. At best, they will open up new doors. Once you are in, the game follows Buckley's 4 elements of successful game design: feedback loops. Once you jump into the conversation or start sharing, you will start getting feedback. By the way, this is really cool, because just today I got feedback. I woke up to a comment, and the comment was by Lucian Peterson 1, and he said, good stuff on the Astro Mechanica stream. So we're really happy. All right, perfect. We are starting to get feedback now. Once you jump into the conversation or start sharing, you will start getting feedback. Don't expect it to be much. A like here, a great point. There, maybe some questions and conversations. Pay attention to what's working and what's not, but don't be too calculated about it. People can smell it. Your metric may not be likes or views, A real conversation with one person you respect might be the best starting point. Variable outcomes. Some things will work and some won't. That's okay. If you're treating it like a game, that's to be expected. The goal isn't perfection, it's experimentation. Play around, try new things. Some will hit, some won't. That's part of the fun. It will keep you hungry. Some things will work, some won't. That's okay. If you are treating it like a game, that's to be expected. The goal isn't perfection, it's experimentation. Play around, try new things. Some will hit, some won't. That's part of the fun. It will keep you hungry. Sense of control. In traditional game design, this means that the more you practice, the better you get, and the better your outcomes. It's not easy. You get out what do you put in. That's doubly true in the great online game because you are not just playing, you are designing the game you want to play. Pick the things that you love the most and go deep. Learn, interact, give value with no expectation of anything in return. Keep learning. There is no boss in the great online game. Your success or failure is a direct result of your skill and effort. In traditional game design, this means that the more you practice, the better you get and the better your outcomes. It's not easy. You get out what you put in. That's doubly true in the great online game because you are not just playing, you are designing the game you want to play. Pick the things that you love the most and go deep. Learn, interact, give value with no expectation of anything in return. Keep learning. There's no boss in the great online game. Your success or failure is a direct result of your skill and effort. Connection to the meta game. I'm going to give this one its own non-bulleted paragraph. It's important. The meta game here is your life and your career. The more you evolve and level up, the more opportunities you will have. If you build up a following, meet the right people, and get involved with the right projects, you will have put yourself on an entirely new trajectory. The fun part is if you do it right, it really can feel like a game. It's so interesting. I believe when I last time when I read this, I was running my podcast, and that podcast has led me to so many beautiful things. From that podcast, I came to Canada back again, and I got my opportunity to crypto startup. I led growth over there. I had the opportunity to travel around the world, and now we are back again, and we are reading this article. Wow. Don't take it too seriously. Don't wait for the perfect moment to jump in. The fun part is if you do it right, it really can feel like a game. Don't take it too seriously. Don't wait for the perfect moment to jump in. The vast majority of people... Let's read this again. The meta game here is your life and your career. The more you evolve and level up, the more opportunities you will have. If you build up a following, meet the right people, and get involved with the right projects, you will have put yourself on an entirely new trajectory. The fun part is if you do it right, it really can feel like a game. Don't take it too seriously. Don't wait for the perfect moment to jump in. The vast majority of people reading this won't want to quit your job and make a living entirely online. That doesn't mean you can't play. Play on the side, learn some things, build some new hobbies and relationships. Give yourself an insurance plan if things don't work out in your job, and a supercharger if they do. And it's very interesting because this was the goal. Playing the great online game was the goal, but having that job really helped me, really open up the world for me. And I was able to build some insurance, build a safety net so I can now go all in into this great online game. Don't take it too seriously. Don't wait for the perfect moment to jump in. The vast majority. I feel like sharing this piece with a couple of friends, so I will share this with a couple of friends. Okay. Perfect. I shared this with a couple of friends. All right. The fun part is if you do it right, it really can feel like a game. Don't take it too seriously. Don't wait for the perfect moment to jump in. The vast majority of people reading this won't want to quit your job and make a living entirely online. That doesn't mean you can't play. Play on the side, learn some things, build some new hobbies and relationships. Give yourself an insurance plan if things don't work out in your job, and a supercharger if they do. You never know when it might come in handy or what new path you might discover. Important note, don't be an asshole. It's an easy way to get some followers early. And if you're trying to game that metric, it might work, but it's also the easiest way to lose your life in the great online game. The fun part is if you do it right, it really can feel like a game. Don't take it too seriously. Don't wait for the perfect moment to jump in. The vast majority Actually, let me share this with another friend that I just thought of. Don't take it too seriously. Don't wait for the perfect moment to jump in. The vast majority of people reading this won't want to quit your job and make a living entirely online. That doesn't mean you can't play. Play on the side. Learn some things. Okay, I just thought of another friend with whom I should share this. And this time I want to share this. Okay. Don't take it too seriously. Don't wait for the perfect moment to jump in. The vast majority of people reading this won't want to quit your job and make a living entirely online. That doesn't mean you can't play. Play on the side. Learn some things. Build some new hobbies and relationships. Give yourself an insurance plan if things don't work out in your job, and a supercharger if they do. You never know when it might come in handy or what new path you might discover. Important note, don't be an asshole. It's an easy way to get some followers early, and if you're trying to game that metric, it might work, but it's also the easiest way to lose your life in the great online game. I didn't set out to play the great online game when I started writing Not Boring, but that's accidentally what I did 2 years ago. Bored at my job, I started spending more time on Twitter and writing a newsletter. I just wanted to meet smart people who were interested in the same things I was. I never in a million years thought that my job would become playing the great online game, but that's what it's become. When people ask me my title, I don't have a good answer. Writer, founder, investor, some guy with a newsletter, they all fit, and I'm sure I will add more over time. Playing the game is about having fun and opening doors that you didn't even know existed. It's a lot of work, but it's fun work. With exponential upside and compounding returns, go play. It's a lot of work, but it's fun work with exponential upside and compounding returns. This is so cool. Yeah, this is very interesting because today when somebody asks me that, okay, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a creator, because I don't know how else to explain this. I don't want to say founder because I'm not running like a startup or something. I don't want to say writer because I'm not really writing. I would love to say writer. I don't want to say streamer because that means like, hey, I don't want to be someone like I Show Speed. He's a great guy. Has done incredibly well for himself, but that's not what I'm trying to do. Investor, I'm not like a proper VC that is just like finding startups and like cutting $1 million checks. And I don't have a newsletter, so very interesting. Who is Drawer? Drawer Poleg. What does it say? Success is low probability, high impact event. Drawer. Economic historian, combat veteran, future of work, cities, market speaker, advisor to Fortune 500 governments, SCN, MIT, WSJ, etc. Wow. Wow. Most of us are playing a game that no longer exists. The linear economy. Production is linear and predictable. Production is non-linear and unpredictable. Value is cumulative and slow. Value is sudden and compounding. Is cumulative and slow. This is so interesting. Like, this is exactly what happens when you're working a job. When you're working a job, you feel like, oh, you're constantly getting a stream of income, you're constantly investing, and you're constantly growing. So it's slow, continuous growth, and it's very predictable. But no, it's not supposed to be predictable. It's supposed to be very sudden. It's supposed to be based on the value you create. Profits are physically constrained. Profits are scalable. Labor inputs are standardized. Labor and inputs are specialized. Mass of similar people and tasks. Specialized individuals matched to unique tasks. Normal distribution of rewards. Winner takes most distribution of rewards. Success is repeatable. Failure is frequent. Failure is frequent. Success is repeatable. Failure is frequent. Wow. Failure is frequent. Very interesting. There are many ways to understand the present and think about the future. Every day, a new invention or product promises to change everything, but we can change our plans every day, and some of us have to design systems and products that will only reach the market in a few years and are expected to remain useful for decades. We also have to make choices about our own lives, what to study, what to invest in, where to live, which leaders to follow, what companies to join. We also have to make choices about our own lives, what to study, what to invest in, where to live, which leaders to follow, and what companies to join. Okay, I think first of all, drawer is an instant follow. Let's go. What to study, what to invest in, where to live, which leaders to follow, what companies to join. In an environment with so much uncertainty, the most dangerous things are answers. Every answer is a bet, and each of those bets is very likely to be wrong. But if we can rely on answers, what should we rely on? I like to understand what's going on. Think of a roulette table at a casino. Can you guess the next number or color? No. Can anyone? No. Is there a system that can increase your odds? Strictly speaking, no. Does that mean there's nothing you can do? No. There's plenty you can do. To start with, you can understand what kind of game you're playing. Then you can figure out what you are willing to risk and whether you want to play at all. Then you can size your bets in a way that gives you multiple opportunities to win, or pool your bets with other people, or build a separate business on the side, or at least figure out when to walk away, or pick a European rather than the American table as their odds vary, or avoid the game entirely if you can. The point is that even without answers, understanding the game can make a critical difference. So what game are we playing? My thesis about the world is quite simple. There has been a fundamental change in the nature of our economy. 50 years ago, most businesses dealt with physical things. 90% of the assets on the S&P 500 balance sheets were tangible assets like car, parts, soap, bars, raw materials. Today, the opposite is true. Around 90% of the assets are intangible things like intellectual property, code, content, relationships, and knowledge. Part of the story is the growth of technology and finance, two sectors that produce ideas. Technology and finance, two sectors that produce ideas or make money from air rather than things. Make money from air rather than things. But a more important part of the story is the value and utility of even the most physical things, from Tesla cars to Marriott hotels to military drone swarms, are determined by intangible assets like software and stories. Why did this happen? It's a long story which I will leave to another time, but what matters is that it happened. We already live in a truly completely different economy than the one our parents lived in. We are playing a completely different game, and yet we insist on playing by the old rules, rely on old assumptions, and maintain physical structures and mindsets that are no longer fit for purpose. Our economy does not just produce different things, it produces things differently. Producing software and content and ideas is more akin to producing a hit song than to producing a bar of soap. When was this written? This was written in 19th March. Okay. Let's go back. Our economy does not just produce different things, it produces things differently. Producing software and content and ideas is more akin to producing a hit song than to producing a bar of soap or an automobile. The production process of intangible assets is non-linear, unpredictable, disproportionate, and volatile. The same inputs and efforts can produce wildly different outcomes. The same recipes produce different results. This is true for both production and marketing. In the 20th century, both of these functions were linear. This is true for both production and marketing. In the 20th century, both of these functions were linear. What you put in had a big impact on what came out on the other side. There were still surprises on competitors, but the range of outcomes was contained, and there was a discernible relationship between effort and reward, quality and value, input and output. Linear production still matters in many fields. Soap bars and automobiles are still made of known quantities and repeatable processes, but the value and utility of these products depend on intangibles like brands, software, and social networks. As a result, our economy's center of gravity has shifted from linear to non-linear production. 50 years ago, non-linear dynamics were constrained to a few tiny industries like show business and semiconductors. Today, all business is governed by extreme uncertainty, lack of proportion, and volatility. All business is governed by extreme uncertainty, lack of proportion, and volatility. There is a mismatch between our economy and the world we built around it. Our cities, companies, and management methods were shaped by linear assumptions. They were shaped by answers that are no longer true and by the constant pursuit of new answers that will likely be wrong as well. We are in a new game. Does it mean we are helpless? Not at all. We can design systems and employ assumptions that embrace uncertainty. Such systems are already powering some of the most successful companies and products of our era, from TikTok's addictive media platform to medallions, money printing, trading strategies to the way ChatGPT and NVIDIA GPUs process information. I expanded on this in my London talk last week and will talk more about it in my New York talk next week. I will share the recordings and summaries of both once they are ready. And I'm writing a whole book on how to navigate this new game. Stay tuned. Keynotes. Are we in a bubble? It worked for NVIDIA. Could it work for you? Today it's cheating, tomorrow it's fair. The future of work is funny. People talk about coding, math, and even plumbing. One skill that matters: the future, a good sense of humor. The future of work is funny. Wow. The future of work is funny. Okay. This is a short one. Maybe we can cover right now. What happens when you combine human creativity with AI firepower? The falling edge just aired during the NBA Finals on national TV. It was created by a single person in 2 days using Google's Gemini to generate parts of the script and VO3 to generate all the videos and sound. The ad promotes Kalshi, a prediction market that enables people to bet on the outcomes of various events, including basketball game selection results, egg prices, and box office sales of new films. Kalshi's slogan is "The world's gone crazy. Trade it." They tossed the video creator PG Exit to Row to create the most unhinged NBA Finals commercial possible. You can see the final ad below. It is indeed unhinged and compelling. Posted the ad's detailed production process on Twitter, specifying the tools and prompts he used. The entire thread is worth reading. His main takeaway: right now, the most valuable skill in entertainment advertising is comedy writing. If you can make people laugh, they will watch the full ad, engage with it, and some of them will become customers. Wow. We need to follow.
Indiana gonna win, baby! We're in Florida asking people what they put their money on! I'm all in on OKC! Indiana got that dog in them! Will egg prices go up this month? I think we'll hit $20. How many hurricanes do you think we'll have this year? Kalshi lets you legally trade on anything, anywhere in the U.S. OKC! Indiana gonna win, baby! We're in Florida asking people what they put their money on! I'm all in on OKC! Indiana got that dog in them! Will egg prices go up this month? I think we'll hit $20. How many hurricanes do you think we'll have this year? Kalshi lets you legally trade on anything.
I've been a director 15 plus years. Brands don't pay a premium for taste. The future is small teams making wild brand adjacent content weekly. What's the more filmmakers? It's attention. Right now, the most valuable skill. What's the mode for filmmakers? It's attention. Right now, the most valuable skill in entertainment and pricing is comedy writing. If you can make people laugh, they'll watch the full ad, engage with it, and some of them will become customers. People talk about coding, math, and even plumbing. One skill that matters in the future. Good sense of humor. Have an excellent day. Best drawer. All right, perfect. Now we go to Aaron. That was like stuck in my brain. That okay, there's one thing we need to do. What was that one thing? Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, we'll just search for Aaron. Let's go. Let's go. Post on YouTube as well, but generally curious as to whether people think it's worth uploading longer format bits on X and YD or just YD. Nearly 8 minutes, one take, no cuts, just a ramble on a Sunday morning about the feeling that goals are going to be hard and you should never want to change that. Going to be uploading this onto YD as well. Document everything, video, pictures, pen and paper, digital notes. The whole process is important because you only get one. Every moment is gained and stored at the same time. Do not let your thoughts float into the abyss. There's more people than you think who can take inspiration, knowledge from your life stories, experiences, things you have to say, show the world.
Sunday morning. And I'm here to say, I tell myself, tell you guys, this is essentially what I'm saying to myself. Now, to all the friends, if people can resonate, then fucking fantastic. But I'm here to say that no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to do the sleepless nights for you, or the late nights, or the early mornings, or help you through them barriers that you feel like you can't fucking get through, the brick walls that just won't move. People doubt you, but they won't do it for you. But sometimes doubting you is doing something for you because it's motivating you for more, actually light a fire up. But that's a whole different paradigm shift that we probably don't need to dive into right now. But essentially, they won't do it for you, and it's going to be a lot harder than you ever thought, no matter what you're trying to do, because it's all relative when we're all trying to push our limits. I'm not here to say, and no one should ever be here to say, oh, my goals are better than yours or higher than yours. Just it's all relative, and we're all pushing our limit, and our limits are all different for different things. And when anyone's pushing their limit, whether that be a business, weight loss, speed, communication skills, relationship skills, all these things, like when you're trying to push a limit, exceed a line, it's going to be fucking difficult. That line is going to show resistance. It's a ceiling for a reason. And if we want to make that ceiling a new floor, we have to be willing to fucking muscle up and do it. And I don't know if any of you have ever tried muscle up, but it's fucking difficult if you don't know how to do it. And when you do one, you realize, oh shit, it's actually easy. Just like when you pass a limit, you realize, fuck, how did I not think of this? How did I not do this? And you realize, yeah, it just happens. You know, it just happens, and then you're like, oh, well, what's the next one? But the main thing is that it's fucking hard, and it's always going to feel hard. And I don't think we should ever expect it to feel any less than hard, because if it wasn't hard, then everyone would have it. If everyone would have it, would we even want it? Probably not. And would it reward us in the way that we think it's going to reward us? Probably not. But I've been having these recent thoughts because I've been severely sleep deprived, probably for the best part of a year, because I've had this going since October. And obviously that's when I've been tracking my sleep. I'm not too sure how good it is to wear it to sleep, to be honest. But you only live once. I'm not like a massive data guy that likes to look too much into the data of it. Probably why I'm severely sleep deprived and leaving a lot of progress fitness-wise and life-wise, business-wise, whatever, concentration, focus-wise on the table because I can't, because I am sleep deprived. But I'm rambling right now. But for the best part of 12 months, 10 months, I averaged like 5 hours, 50 minutes, I think it was. And that's pretty fast. But I think there is a cost. Like when you're trying to do a lot of things, when you're trying to push yourself, push goals, something will come at a cost. And for me, that's sleep. How that affects me then, progression-wise, I don't know. Because obviously I know sleep's a massive factor. But the thing I tell myself, and it might seem like real fucking, what's the word? Real, like I'm trying to glorify sleep when I'm, lack of sleep when I'm not, is meant to hurt. Like, it is meant to hurt. Like things, there are going to be sacrifices, and there are sacrifices for a reason. Like, of course you want to sleep a full 8 hours every single day, full recovery, whatever, but that's just not realistic. Unless you're like a full-time athlete being paid to just train, or you're doing full, like a business fully and you're not training at all. And even then, a business fully is a lot more like, is a lot less likely to sleep than a full-time athlete. Full-time athlete, his job is to recover. A business, you're never really recovering. You go. Whereas an athlete, you train once, twice, sometimes 3 times a day, and then you recover. That's it. You're pretty fucking
artist, athlete, entrepreneur. This is the combination we talked about even yesterday with Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is like, hey, the artists are kind of jealous of the athletes, and the athletes are jealous of the artist. And now we also have this another component, entrepreneur, and everything has to work together. If you are just business, if you're just going hard on your business thing, that doesn't work. Like your health is fucked, and that's the reason why you have Brian Johnson, who was like, hey, I was part of that entire crew that just who held that as a badge of honor, that you were just like working and you were not taking care of your health, and no sleep, no food, nothing. Everything has to work together. You have to be good at business. I was also talking to a lawyer yesterday or day before yesterday, when we went I was on a run. I went to this coffee shop. I met him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a lawyer," and we were talking about this idea that it is so much better when you push yourself in running, in workout and health, and that kind of really translates into work as well. Like you feel good, you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of energy, stuff like that.
A lot. It sounds fucked. Like a lot of athletes are fucking stupid because all they know how to do is their sport, skill, whatever, to like maximum degree and nothing else. But that is beauty in that. Yeah, like that obsession with one thing, that sole focus is fucking beautiful. Maybe I'm a cooked one trying to do fucking all these fucking things, trying to be good at them, trying to pursue them. But you know what? I love that feeling of burning. You know, when my CNS is overcooked, when I feel like I'm absolutely cooked to the max, like going to do a workout when you feel completely fucked up and sleep deprived and you can't focus and your body just starts to shut down, then go doing a workout when you feel like fucking Iron Man, because you feel like you can do that, then nothing can actually stop you. Because if you can get the discipline and the motivation to do those things when you feel absolutely horrible, you're just a machine. Like you genuinely feel like a machine, and that's why I feel like I've been able to then go do some of these crazy challenges on a lack of notice, severe lack of notice, because like my brain is just so accustomed to pain. Like it almost feels illegal to feel fresh. Like if I feel fresh, I think something's wrong, you know. And I'm not too sure how healthy that is and how good that will be for longevity. But I guess we're gonna find out, you know, and how long we can really push it. I'm sure believing like energy will get you a lot further. It sounds crazy. Energy will get you a lot further than sleep, but sleep gives you energy. So obviously we need to sleep, but I believe that like energy and intensity can carry you really, really fucking far. And you can control energy and intensity. You can do things that make you feel energized, make that intensity flourish, you know. And I've always had intensity. And I never wanted to stop. So maybe I should sleep more and I have more intensity. But ultimately, I have such an addiction to feeling fucked up and feeling shit and feeling cooked. And it's a subconscious addiction. It's not like, oh yeah, I want to feel fucked up, I want to feel cooked. But it's like that's all my body like knows, and that's all my body like. I don't know. It's sort of like a survival bias. Like it's like when you know there's a lion hunting, you're gonna run that bit faster. So when I know I'm tired, I'm gonna have to push that bit harder. You know, if I feel fresh, I feel like I'm gonna chill a bit. It sounds fucked. I don't even know if that makes sense or anyone can resonate with that, but it's fucking beautiful. So the premise of these last 6 minutes, 40 or whatever it's been, do hard shit. Expect it to be hard. When pushing your limits, expect there to be resistance. But gain momentum. Momentum then starts to pick up. Things start to fall. Dominoes start to fall. You start to run those dominoes. Everything past that domino starts to be vanquished, obliterated, eviscerated. And then boom, 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 one thing leads to another. You're in a place where you never thought you could be, doing things that you never thought were possible. You're working with your mind, opportunities, and it's beautiful, bro. So even when it's hard, appreciate its beauty because there's beauty in hard, and there's nothing more beautiful than that. So stay insane. Insanity will always win. Every single day of the week, insanity will win. So yeah, please just stay insane. Like, I'm begging you, like, to stay insane. Follow the things that make you clinically insane, and never stop. But yeah, get after it. New week Monday tomorrow. I make it count.
Great stuff. Great stuff, Aaron. I think it's also giving me inspiration for just like creative stuff. And I'm just thinking like, hey, how do I add like a film filter over here on a live video feed? I don't know if I can do that, but I'll search it up. But all right, that's the stream. Thank you.